Stand up to pray, everybody. Stand up to pray. For the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. Lord, make us worthy to pray thankfully. Our Father who art in heaven, thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Righteous is our hope for thee, and the kingdom and the power and glory forever. You, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, one God, amen. Lord, this is
Okay, let's get going here. We'll continue with Coptic letters, and we're gonna say again what we said last time, عشان to make sure that we have all the letters down. Especially now, this letter have two pronunciation. Yeah, and it could be pronounced in two ways. أنا متهيألي الفترة الأولانية دي لكل الولاد، يعني ربع ساعة حتى الولاد كلهم عشان الإبتي. كله ده مبتدئين يعني، فحتى اتليست في the beginning شوية بس. And I want everybody to know Coptic. اللي بيتكلموا ما يقعدوش جنب بعض. كده. انا بس لغايه بس ما تسابونا نعمل الالفابت كلها، بعد كده نبتدي ايه. ويا ريت جورج ورانيا. جورج رانيا so يا ريت stay with your class، يعني don't leave، خليكي مع الكلاس بتاعك هنا. معلش 3-4 سنين يعني على قدهم برضو، خليكي معهم، خليهم pick up something من الابتي، خليهم يبتدي عشان ما يبقاش الابتي غريب عليهم، يعني على قد ما تقدر. وجورج نفس الحكايه، خليك مع الكلاس بتاعك وكده. So everybody with his class برضو we're learning all together، يعني there is nothing wrong for us to learn at any age. So we took all the letters that had one pronunciation. I'm reviewing again the letters that could have two pronunciation. so you don't forget about it. When you see it in a Coptic letter, the Coptic letter in a word, you know how you pronounce it, or you at least know why it sounds this way. Okay, again, this letter, the first one, can anybody tell me what's the name of the first letter? The name of it. مكتوب قدامكم. Yes. يوتا. Okay, يوتا. بقول يوتا فيها Y. That's why يوتا could be a Y, but it could be an E as well, an E sound. So that I, it looks like an I, it's called iota. It could be pronounced like Y or E. In French, actually, this is called E. Okay, so يعني الI دي اسمها E. It's not really strange from the Latin way of saying and sounding words. So iota. Iota could be pronounced as E or Y. When is it pronounced like Y? Because this is an exception. When is it a iota pronounced like Y? Why? A vowel in front or after it. Type. دلوقتي if I wanted to say what are the vowels that in Coptic. In the first row, what is a vowel here? What is it? Can't hear you. Alpha. And what else could be a vowel on the first row? Yes? A. So the first letter and the 3 from the last row is 2 vowels. Okay, the second row. If you look at the second row, what is a vowel that is in the second row? What's a vowel that in the second row? Somebody else tell me. Everybody in this row split to different rows. Yeah, it's the same row. Split to different rows. That's what I'm saying. I'm asking you. Okay. So in the second row, what is a vowel? Yes, Luis. Eta. So eta is the first one. What is another vowel on the second row? Yes, Abanub. Iota or eta. So iota is the third one, right? Eta, it was the first one. So these are 2 vowels. Okay, and the third row, from what you're looking at, what is a vowel? Somebody else. Somebody who has not said. What's a vowel? That's English, like almost English. Yes. Omicron or O. Okay. And what else? Yes. Epsilon could be also a vowel. Le. Because epsilon sometimes it takes the sound of an E. Okay. So it's actually sometimes considered a vowel. So the vowel is by how it sounds. Okay. Fourth row. Do we have any vowels on the fourth row? And remember, a vowel is something that when you open your mouth to pronounce something is usually a vowel. A, O, I, yani keda. These are vowels. Yes. Omega. Yes. Omega, which is the one that looks like a W. That's like a O sound. Very good. Okay. And the last row, do we have any vowels? Any vowels in the last row? Okay, we don't have any vowels in the last row. So if we go from the top again, and row by row, we have the alpha, we have the A, we have the eta, we have the iota, we have the next one is O, we have the epsilon sometime, and we have the omega. And let me add one more, even though it's not a vowel, but a sound of a vowel is when you have O and epsilon together, it gives you the sound U. The sound U, which is O, omicron, and epsilon together. This is repeated a lot. I want you to commit it to memory. When you say an O and epsilon, this U sound, it doesn't change, and it could be considered also as a vowel. So these sounds, going back to the rule, these sounds, if it's before the iota or after the iota, then this iota becomes a Y. It becomes a Y. Other than this, it's always going to be pronounced like an E. Okay, let's look at the example here. And we did this example before, but again, repetition is going to help you. The first one, I'm going to give it away this time, is nay, iota, and may. There is no vowel before the iota or after the iota. So in this is an N sound, a iota, and a may. So it will be nima, neem. And neem is different from nim. في something in Coptic called nim, يعني and. Neem, يعني who. We say it in في لحن البركة بتاع تن أوشت، بعد بنقول تن أوشت ده شيري ماريا. في part بيقول نيم who is like you، ها، فنيم يعني who، يعني it's a question. You could start a question by name. Okay, so the next one is, I have it in red, and that means it will have to conform to be a Y. But let's find out what it is. It's alpha, gamma, iota, O, and sigma. So our subject right now is a iota. Where is the iota located? It's kind of in the middle, okay? And it has an O or omicron after it. So that's why this is going to be yo, not EO, okay? So when I say ag, yos, fi, Y sound, and somebody wonder where's the Y sound coming from, is because that iota becomes a Y in here, okay? So that's a very common word that we say a lot and hear a lot, agios. Now, it doesn't matter if this is Coptic or Greek at this point, right? There are some that gonna matter to say Coptic or Greek, but this one, the iota, could be an E sound or a Y sound. Okay, the next one is kind of very similar to that, but this time you have an alpha. So if I concentrate only on the iota and the alpha, it's going to give me a sound of a ya, not e-a. So I'm going to say a-ge-ya, a-ge-ya. I'm not going to say a-ge-a because the vowel here makes it a Y. All these are a kind of a revision of what we took. Okay, let's look at the next one. We have rho, iota, may, and iota. So you have two iota, one kind of in the beginning of the word and a iota at the end. Okay, does any of these iota have a vowel before them or after them? Do they? Yeah, George, do they? Do they? Yes? You're paying attention? Do you know which word I'm talking about? Okay, because you were not paying attention. Okay, so I'm on the fourth word. The fourth word. So this is rho, iota, may, iota. So any of that have a vowel before the iota or after the iota? Does it? Does not. So in this case, it becomes rho, iota, may, iota. يبقى ri, mi. And here it takes the sound of an E. Okay? All right. This one is very common one that we also say a lot and Abuna says a lot. If we look at this one, is nay, alpha, and iota. So when I see nay, alpha, and iota, now my subject is, what I'm thinking about is a iota. So I'm going to say, again, try again. It's not nay. It's nay and alpha and iota. It's going to be nai. Lay nai. If I look at the nay and alpha by itself, it's going to say na. I'm going to say na because it's an n and an alpha. Na. And then I'm going to say na e, or I'm going to say nai. I have two ways of saying this because it could be an e or nai. It's going to be nai. ليه؟ عشان اليوتا is a vowel, and we already looked at the iota could be a vowel, and in this case it's the alpha is, or the vowel is before the iota. فأبونا بيقول مثلا if نوتي ناينان وبنقول جي ناينان. ها؟ this is where is we say where the Y comes from. Okay, so very good. Okay, let's look at the sema and see what the sema could be pronounced like. Okay, so the sema is a S sound. Look at the sema. The sema is an S sound. I don't want you to Ruiz, خليك ممكن تيجي قدام عشان you keep talking to him and this is disturbing. Okay, so again, sema is an S sound because I'm saying sema. So again, I want to encourage you that when you see a letter, know the name of the letter. The name of it at least will give it away, will give you one pronunciation or one possible pronunciation or the only pronunciation. So remember that sema had an S sound, so therefore it's an S sound. It's not it could not be like a K sound, like car, for example. It's not English. This is Coptic. The sema, which it looks like a C, is always an S sound. Okay? So I'm going to say that 95% of the time, Bishoy, go back and leave him here. Go behind Ruiz, please. Thank you very much. Okay, so sema, we have sema, I say sema, therefore it's an S sound, right? So an S sound, it's always going to be always an S. So when I see this letter anywhere, I'm not going to think of a C in English, I'm going to think of an S, okay, in English, if I want to kind of know the pronunciation. So the sema is always what? An S, right? And it could be in very, very small chance of that, it could be a Z. I'm going to tell you the rule, because you're going to tell me the rule back. You're going to tell me the rule back, right? So sema is like a sin, that S sound. When can it be pronounced as a Z? Now you got to turn your thinking cap and start thinking now. Okay, when can it be a Z? There's two conditions. It has to be a Greek word, and it have to have an may behind it. So in a very English kind of easy way, if it's C and M, it could be a Z. It could be pronounced as a Z. Yes. Okay. Okay. So it could be Z. So two conditions. It could be two conditions. It has to be Greek and have an C and M beside. And in this case, it will be a Z. Yani it will be like that C becomes, or that S becomes a Z. So Z and M. That's what it's going to turn into, right? But you have to think about two conditions. It has to be Greek, a Greek word, and it have to have the may right behind it. Let's take some example to see what we're talking about here. Okay, if we look at the first one, how can you tell me the first one by telling me the letters, every letter, and telling me how to pronounce this word? The first one. I have, who can show of hand here for the first one? Yes? Yes? You raise your hand? Yes, Bishoy. Sema and? La, I'm pay attention. I said, tell me all the letters, and then tell me all the letters, and that makes up this word, and then pronounce it. So, go ahead, Bishoy. What is the first letter? Sema, that was the one who just took. What's the next one? اهي كبيرة خالص. Omega, May, and Alpha. So kind of put it together and slowly by yourself. Sima, okay, this is the letter. How would you say, what's an omega? What's an omega sound like? يبقى S and O, right? So, ma. Okay, very good. So it's an S sound. Okay, who can take the second one? Very easy. It's Sima. Huh? And what's the next? Has yours? O or Omicron, and the next one? Nay. So what would you say that? Son. Son yani brother. I'm all Pason, hey, my brother. Our P-son is the brother. Son. Okay, let's look at the next one. And I'll give you a hint. This one is a Greek. This one is a Greek word. But even if you looked at it before, look at it. Yani kind of analyze it. Huh? Then. Can you tell me the letters? Is kappa? Mm-hmm. Yes. Uh-huh. May, it's called May. Yes, it sounds like an M, but it's May, huh? Sima again, the same one. It's good that you said that because it has an M, but it's not good that it's not only that it has an M, it has an M and it's a Greek word. The two things, okay? بنوب ماشي؟ كوزموس، عشان كده بقول كوزموس، مش هقول أي حاجة تاني. Okay. Oops. So now we took the Sima. Okay, let's look at the next one. Okay, this looks like a regular T. Okay, and it's called Tav. Tav is our T. Most of the time, just like Sima, it's pronounced like a T. Okay, so when you see this, it's always pronounced like a T. So you probably 95% of the time, if you say that this sounds like a T, it is going to be a T. When I'm going to give you the one exception, that is going to be a D. So if a nay is before it, so N plus T, N like the New Testament, remember this word, NT. So NT, the T becomes a D. But wait, that's not all. Again, like the Sima, it has to be a Greek word. So for example, if I have an N and a T in a Coptic word, it's still T. It's still considered a T. It's considered a T. Only if it is a Greek word. And we talked about how to identify a Greek word before. So let's look at the example. Most of the time, it's going to be T. So the first one is Tav, O, next one, Tav, next one, O, Omicron, and Tav again, and Sima. So we know all these letters. How would we pronounce this word? Then. Tots. I want you to be sure. قولها كده قولها صوت عالي. Very good. Tots. ليه؟ لأن Tav, و-O, و-Tav, و-Sima, and there is no nay before the T. So I don't even have to think about any other exception to the rule. It's going to be always T, okay? The next one is Tav. Who can tell me the next one? Go, Natalie. What is the first letter? What is this first? Tav. What's the next one? Alpha. What's the next one? Iota. And what's the next one? An Omicron. So again, Tav, Alpha, Iota, and O. How would I say this? I'm going to take it apart. Chris. I'm going to say tayo. Le, I'm going to say tayo. And why did this turn to a Y? We just took this rule that the Y, iota, can turn into a Y. And it says surrounded, this one is surrounded by a vowel before it and after it. Yeah, Angelus. صح؟ صح؟ تا. Okay, so tayo. ليه؟ لأنك tav وألفا ويوتا وأو. So the exception about the T, مفيش exception. Why? Because the tav does not have an N before it. I don't even have to think about an exception. Right? So it's going to be T. But then the next one, I'm going to say ta, and then I'm going to think. I'm going to say ta, E, O, or what? I'm going to say tayo. I'm going to say tayo. Why I'm going to say tayo? Because the iota have now a vowel before it and after it, and for that, in a matter of fact. Okay? Okay. This one is a very common one. Very common one, and I'm going to tell you, it's a P, alpha, nei, tav, O, kappa, rho. عادين قول معايا, say with me. Can we say the letters, sound all the letters together? Can we sound all the letters together? P, alpha, say with me. P, alpha, nei, tav, O, kappa, rho, alpha, tav, omega, rho. And here it is a Greek word, and you're going to get used to the Greek words because the Greek words sound a bit different than the Coptic words. And you, with experience, you're going to know. Sit down, sit down, sit down. Okay, so where is the exception here? The nei and the tav. So the nei and the tav, I'm going to think. There is an N before the T, or there's an A before the tav. So is this an exception or not? If it's a Coptic word, it's no exception. It's going to be T. But here it's going to be an exception. Le, عشان is going to become a D. So now I'm going to say, let's sound it all together. Pandokrator. Pandokrator. احنا بنقولها pantokrator حتى in English, some English texts حتى كاتبين pantokrator. The right pronunciation is pandokrator. Pandokrator. Okay? So that's another thing. Okay, the next one also is a Greek word. Again, how do you know a Greek word? Let me give you a little hint. And I gave you that last time. Anything that ends in an A, anything that ends in an O, anything that ends in on, anything that ends in os, all these things is going to be Greek. I'm all agios, that's Greek. All pechristos is Greek. All ageia, Greek. Axia, Greek. Axios, Greek. Okay? أما أقول مثلا زورون توتون كيسيسيونيمون كيبروسفيروندون عشان كده بقول كيبروسفيروندون يعني the people that gonna know Coptic gonna say prosevexaste iperton agion timion zoron toton kethisionimon kepros ferondon. I'm going to say ferondon, even though there is a T. But if you look at the text, it's going to have an N and a T, and I know it's Greek, فهقول ferondon. Yes. What's a Greek word? A Greek word that looks like this Coptic. It looks exactly like this, but you can, by hearing it, you know this is Greek. Okay? Xila, Kepanda, all these things, okay? Zoron, Toton. Okay, who can tell me the next one? Tell me all the letters and reading. And this is, by the way, is also a Greek word. The next one. I want somebody who has not said before. The last, not the last one, the second to last. Huh? Who can tell me this one? Antonius? Huh? Can somebody help Antonius? What is the first one? What is the first letter? Yes, Akaras. La, the first letter is A. That's okay. That's okay. A. Huh? What's the next letter? What's the next letter? Yes. No, not yet. The T is the one that changed to D, not the N. So what is it, Abanoob? Nay. Okay. So N. So far I have N. Huh? Daniel? No, I just want you to pay attention. Turn around. Pay attention. David, turn around. Yes. Yeah, you go ahead. Nay and then Tav. Okay. You right away, N and T, that's a flag for me to say, is it a D? Is it N and D instead of N and T? I'm going to think. I'm telling you it's a Greek word. So you it's Greek and have the Nay and Tav. So I'm going to say end, and then after that there is O, Lavla, and Ita. يبقى N, Do, Li. N, Do, Li. Sit down. Endoli. That's a Greek word. Here's a Coptic word. How would we say this one? Remember I just told you about the O and epsilon? It sounds like something. Yeah, letters and then spell. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Vita. Okay. So how would you sound it? Tuvo. Okay. And we hear this a lot in the Lent. Pi Tuvo. And you can tell me what Tuvo mean at the end of the A today, if you know it, if you still remember. Tuvo. What's Tuvo? So why is it Tuvo? It's because there is a Tav, there is an O and epsilon. This combination, don't forget it, is always OU, U sound. A Tu, and then the last one is Vo, okay? We didn't take the Vita and we did not take the epsilon. Okay. Time check, what's the time now? 5:40, okay. All right. Let's take one more letter. Delta. Okay. So this delta, this delta appears only in Greek words. So whenever you see, this is one way to identify if this word is Greek or not. If you see this delta in any word, is Greek. Ala tul, without thinking about anything. This delta only appears in Greek words. Come down. Sit down. Come down. Okay. Delta. So we're almost going to take a break, so just bear with me for another 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Okay. Focus with me, please. So delta, the sound of it is a TH sound. It's not a Z, okay? So delta, TH sound, okay? It's not zelta with a Z. It's TH, like they. So delta. That's how you should pronounce it. For example, when you say that's the right pronunciation. Practice and you get it. Okay, so delta, because as a sound of it said the delta, so that means it's also most of the time is that TH sound. Only in a few exceptions, and these exceptions are very very, very simple and very easy to remember is we know that this is all Greek words. Every time you see the delta is going to be Greek word. Okay, like thine, for example. D, yes? Theta? Theta, we haven't, theta have actually, it's not in this list because it have 3 pronunciation. So, does it make the same sound? No, because theta is th like thank you, for example, but the delta is a th like the, like they, like them, like those, okay? So this is a th sound. It's not the same sound. It's maybe the same composition of the t and h, but that's not it. So delta, bear with me 3 more minutes, please. Pay attention with me for 3 more minutes. Ya Flobatir, Yapshoy, Karas, everybody, David, everybody. 3 more minutes. George, please. 3 minutes. I asked for 3 minutes. I asked for only 3 minutes. Okay. Delta. So delta. It's a D in proper names. Proper names are names of places, names of people, cities, landmarks. So when I say, for example, Yodas, Yodas means Judah. Yodas means Judas. If you look at how Yodas is comprised of, you'll see that it's a delta in there. Okay, I'm not going to say Yodas, I'm going to say Yodas. For example, David. It have a delta in the beginning and a delta at the end. So that's D. Okay? So that's how that's very easy rule to remember. All of the words are Greek. So look at that. And for example, so the first one is David, right? See? Delta, alpha, epsilon, iota, and delta. So David, D and D at the very end. The next one is a Greek word. All of them are Greek word. But the next one we see a lot, doxa. I mean, doxa, patri. Patri, game and patriarch, meaning what? The head of, okay? Or the father in this case. Okay? Zoxa. Hena, th, doxa. Xi, alpha. Zoxa. Okay, next one is a name of a person, Adam, but it's Adam. Alpha, delta, alpha, may. That's why it's a D and not a th sound like Adam, for example. Okay. Can somebody tell me the next one, please? The one in white. Somebody go ahead and raise your hand. Flobatir. Go ahead, Flobatir. So can you tell me the letters and tell me how you arrived at that? Start with the first letter. So the first one is what? The letter that we were on. Okay. Delta. Go ahead. Delta. بعدين. Okay, up to this point, how does it pronounce? Up to this point only. Theya, okay. And that's because it has the iota and the alpha. So yeah, not E. Okay, so theya. Okay, بعدين. That's not an omicron. What is this one? Oh, it's an omega. Okay, close enough. Same sound, longer sound. So if I spell this out, it's going to be theya kon. Theya kon. Okay, and this is the last one I was telling you about. Okay, here's I want you to study this one because this kind of sums a lot of the rules that we took today. It's have a iota and have O and epsilon behind it. So I know that there's a iota, it could be an an E or a Y. So I'm going to start thinking, does it have a vowel before it or after it? Yes, it does. It does have O. And in that Y, it's going to be called, it's going to be pronounced like Y. But then O epsilon by itself, like I said, is U. So if I break it up to just the first three letters, yeah, Banoob, 1 minute, is going to be U. It's going to be U. How is it going to be U? It's going to be the Y, which is a iota, because it has a vowel. Okay, so that's a Y. And O and epsilon is U. So U. But then this is the delta I was telling you about. And it is although it's Greek and everything is Greek about the delta, but this is the name of a person. It's Yuda, which means وبعد ساعات بيقولوا يوداس برضو a sima at the end is what gives it away that it's a Greek word. So as you read and as you follow, then you'll be able to do that. So Yuda. Last one here is number 6, and this is how we determine the numbering in the Coptic language, is Su. So this is Su, it's number 6. How do I know it's number 6? It has a little dash on top of it, and that's different from an abbreviation. Abbreviation have one long line over it, but a number would have separate line or dashes on top. And if you look real quick at the alphabet, and if you count with me, alpha is 1, beta is 2, gamma is 3, delta is 4, بعدين A is 5, بعدين Su is 6. So this is how we determine. You go backward, it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You go forward, it's 7, 8, 9, and so forth. And this is the key to knowing the numbering in the Coptic language. So Su or So, So-u or So, fi feminine or masculine, is the key for you to know the Coptic numbering. Okay, so go ahead, 15 minutes, 6 o'clock you should be there. And don't make a sound because Abuna has a class. 10 minutes.